right, welcome back. I'm Jason Whitlock, joined by Marcellus Wiley. Time to put on our thinking caps. Yeah. We're joined by Eric Mangini and TJ Houshmandzadeh. As you all know, I'm a journalist, and we've got our resident Ivy Leaguer, Columbia's very own Marcellus Wiley. So we're going to take a deeper look at a big issue in sports. Got a special cap for our Columbia grad. Darnell, bring it out.
Thank you very much.
Looking cleaner.
Yeah. And bathe him thoroughly.
All right. Let's move to Tom Brady, who is about to make his record 9th Super Bowl appearance, and a lot of people are wondering if it could be his last before he decides to call it a career. Our buddy Jay Glazer went so far as to say that he could see Brady and Belichick retiring together if they win it all this year. While fans in the media love the going out on top narrative, many of the sports world's greatest figures, from Michael Jordan to Muhammad Ali to Joe Montana to Willie Mays, stuck around until they were well past their championship prime. I think if Brady wants to do something to distinguish himself from Joe Montana, from Michael Jordan, from Willie Mays, from Muhammad Ali, going out on top after winning and or playing in the Super Bowl would elevate his legacy. Look, it would distinguish him from the other GOATs if he did something they didn't have the discipline to do.
Okay, so as legacy is defined, certainly perceived, is what others judge you based on your life's work and what they think of you, your reputation beyond your existence on this planet. And it's funny that if that's the case, then one, let me, in priority, live my life the way I want to. This whole legacy and priority versus you got to go out on top, it's better messaging, it's a better look, it's better optics versus, damn it, I am playing a child's game and I'm playing it into my 40s and I want to play it till I'm 45 or beyond, should be the focus. And Tom Brady, if you are in decline, if you have a Michael Jordan Washington Wizards last couple of years, we ain't going to remember that. Or we're certainly not going to prop that up to a place where we're going to start to take slights at Tom Brady and his greatness. So for me, when we start saying legacy, we're giving ourselves on the outside too much power about what this guy wants to do. If he wants to go out on top, Michael Strahan, Jerome Bettis, John Elway, okay, that's great. Or if you want to go out not necessarily on top Michael Jordan, but still be the GOAT, that's fine with me as well. But if you want to just ball till you fall and go out in a big bucket of ashes and just the remains of Tom Brady is out on the field, do that as well, man, because people don't understand how hard it is to even get here, let alone do what he's doing at this age. Do it until you don't want to do it.
I think he's already separated himself just off the career he's had and the longevity of being great for such a long period. He's already separated himself from all those guys you named, number one.
Not Michael Jordan.
You don't think so? Michael Jordan wasn't great at 40 years old?
Ooh, shots.
Michael Jordan's playing a sport where you can't do that at 40 years old.
All I'm saying is Michael Jordan wasn't great from the time he was a starter to the time he left. Tom Brady has pretty much been great from the time Drew Bledsoe got hurt until today.
MVP last year.
And there's a 0% chance, 0% chance if they win it, he retires. 0% chance. I know that for a fact. 0%.
And Tom Brady's playing a sport that a lot of people said you couldn't play at a high level into your 40s, and Tom Brady gets hit, and Michael Jordan didn't get hit. And I think the one thing
Are you joining the
Yeah, of course.
I just think when you're talking about a contact sport versus not, you know, you got to put those into, well, you got to put it into context just in terms of age. But the thing with greatness is you set a bar and then you surpass that bar. And that's what Tom's doing is he keeps resetting the bar of what greatness is and then works to surpass it. And I like the idea of him continuing on. I do think it's probably in both their best interest to go out together as opposed to Tom leaving and Bill staying. I think this marriage works really well for them. And when it's time to go, they should probably move off together.
You've said something, you've said several things, both of y'all interesting, but I don't, do you think Bill Belichick will care about leaving at the same time as Tom Brady? I don't. Coaching is a a discipline he could do till he's damn near 80 as long as his faculties are there.
It's funny because a long time ago you say, God, if I'm one of those old guys coaching, you know, put me out to pasture. And here he is, he's coaching a lot longer than maybe he anticipated. But I think the unique thing that he has is his kids are working there. And so it's an opportunity for him to spend time with the kids in a totally different context where football season, for guys who are in it with their family, is you don't see them. But now the fact that he's able to work with them, I think that may put a unique spin on how long he stays. In terms of working together, it's going to be hard to find anything like Tom Brady, and it's going to be interesting to see how his legacy is affected once Tom does leave.
I think that would be the joy in it, the challenge of trying to do something without Tom.
Does he get discredited if Tom retires, Bill continues to coach, but he doesn't have that same type of success? Does he now get discredited as Tom Brady was the reason?
I can tell you there's no joy in Cleveland when he had one winning season in 5 years. And there's no joy our first year in New England when we went 5-11. So joy is...
And 0-2 before Brady got his first start. Yeah, and Bledsoe went down. It's crazy. He's going to give...
Who was it that hit Drew Bledsoe? Was it Mo Collins?
Mo Lewis. Mo Lewis. Oh, yeah, got him. And it's impossible to... I hate to say impossible. It's impossible to keep up this level of excellence once this marriage is broken apart. Whatever happens, like, that's impossible on the remaining individual. So Belichick is setting himself up for failures by staying there, but he also has a great challenge in saying, look, I wasn't a winning coach before Tom Brady, but let me show you that I am a winning coach, head coach, outside of Tom Brady. Maybe that's a challenge.
I think he would do it easily. I want to go back to y'all's point of somehow that he's already exceeded what Michael Jordan accomplished. I'm not ready to go there, and I do. And look, I'm the guy that last week said Tom Brady is the greatest athlete of this era, the greatest athlete since Michael Jordan. I put him right there with Muhammad Ali in terms of will, the competition, and all that other stuff. But if to say, you know, Jordan went 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. Jordan, you know, Wizard years, I kind of agree with Marcellus, don't count. His record is unblemished as far as greatness and dominance. And I do think if Tom Brady doesn't participate in a year or two where he's fallen off and is a shell of himself, I think that's how he distinguishes himself from Jordan. He came in on top and he goes out on top. We just have never seen that from the all-time great.
It's weird if you look. It doesn't count when you're talking about Jordan's greatness, but if you want to compare his greatness to Tom Brady, I'm gonna count the Wizard years.
You have to.
You got to start. We splitting hairs.
You
now?
Can't discredit him because you are on the court.
Yeah,
you have to include it.
Jordan individually was great from day one. His team wasn't. And Tom Brady, his team was. He wasn't necessarily. But guess what? Tom Brady hit the ground running. That team, they won 11 games that year when they were 0-2 and 5-11 the year before. Did they win the Super Bowl?
Well, I just need to pump the brakes a little bit. We scored 3 offensive touchdowns in the playoffs that year that we won the Super Bowl, and one of them was Drew Bledsoe. So Tom has matured into that position. And the only thing I'll say, Jason, about on top that distinguishes Tom in my mind is he keeps resetting what on top is. And that, to me, is what distinguishes him as a great athlete, is every time we think there's no way this bar is going to be surpassed, he then resets what it is.
How many Hall of Fame players over the course of Tom Brady's career offensively did he play with? Randy Moss probably is the only one. Would agree?
Yeah, we got
Edelman. I'm gonna put in the Hall of Fame.
Man, if you don't get out of here, if you don't, come on, Jason.
What ballot?
Gronkowski's going to the Hall of Fame. Edelman's going to the Hall of Fame.
Are you serious?
There's defensive players that'll go to the Hall of Fame.
Defensively, offensively, Gronkowski, Randy Moss. I love Julian Edelman. There's no way.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
If they do, then they should let everybody in the Hall of Fame.
No, they shouldn't. Because again, just remember this. Terrell Davis, part of his argument for getting in the Hall of Fame was his playoff postseason success.
But you can't control. We're all off subject now.
2,000 yards.
But you can't control. Like, Julian Edelman was lucky to be drafted by the Patriots. Like, you can't control that. You just can't. There's not one coach in the NFL that will take Julian Edelman. Not one. Including Bill Belichick over Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, A.J. Green, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen. I can go on and on and on.
Those guys that wouldn't love to have Julian Edelman's postseason resume.
If you
They'll
get into
swap
enough
them.
postseason games,
Where do you think Gronkowski rates?
He's a Hall of Famer.
100%.
Well,
yeah.
100%.
Gronkowski's a Hall of Fame. Him and Randy, my whole point is Michael Jordan played with another all-time great in Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
And so Tom Brady didn't have that. He played with Randy Moss a short period of time. He had Gronkowski's whole career. So
Yeah,
it's
where's
still
his Pippen? Tom Brady didn't have
His name
no
is
Pippen.
Bill Belichick.
No, that's Phil Jackson. Don't you do that.
I'd add Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach, into that Hall of Fame discussion. He's done incredible things there over time.
but very little,
Last
right?
week included. But listen, man, don't compare Phil Jackson and Bill Belichick. It's just not the same. The football is so much more difficult to coach 53 as opposed to coaching 12. Yeah, I don't want to discredit Phil Jackson, but he's not Bill Belichick. Coming up, the Cowboys front office just clapped back at disgruntled Cole Beasley. We'll tell you whose side we're on next.